Hello everybody, Dead Spikes here, and today I'm coming at you with a no DLC Zane build. Now this build I'm running has zero DLC on it at all. A lot of people have been requesting me to make a build of such level, and I went out of my way and spent a few days and put all this gear together to make it for you guys. And we're just going to show you a little bit of the gameplay of this build, and we're going to go over everything we have in it. So right now we're in the Malawan takedown. This is where I'm going to show how the ad clearing section of this build works. I would say it works very good. The ad clearing section definitely competes with DLC build. It's pretty funny because this is very, I mean, it makes sense, but it's very similar to the same build we used to run before DLC came out. It really didn't change much at all. I mean, it makes sense, right? But I don't know. It just kind of brought me back to the good old days. We're just gonna clear this section and clear out that big tank enemy up there. I forgot. Then we'll go to bossing. Gotta go back here to spawn some enemies. Go. Kill a few more. But as you can see, it performs very well ad clearing. It kills the ads very quickly. Not much problems at all. I've went through this takedown many of times without much of a problem. Now the Kraken does seem to be tanky sometimes. That's kind of where this build's not as strong, not as good at single target damage, but it's not bad either. I mean, it still does the job. And there we go. Now we're gonna go over some bossing. All right, so now we're gonna showcase on some bossing. Right now we are going against Agonizer 9000. Guy's very tanky, but with this build you can kill him pretty quickly. I'm using a corrosive cutsman here. Go. You can see that we swapped to Digiclone for bossing just so we can get the action skill and bonuses. And then it's just one shot to the chest. Alright, now it's time to go over the build. There are two versions of this build with the same skill tree. There's one for boss clearing and then there's one for ad clearing. Right now we have the boss clearing on because you saw us go and farm Agonizer. Now the difference mostly has to do with the shield and grenade combo. So when you're on the bossing setup, you're going to want an action skill and element on both your shield and grenade, but they have to be different, and they also have to be different than your gun one if you have one on your gun. None of these have one, thankfully. But if I had one that was, let's say, on action skill and get cryo damage for the next 2 megs, I couldn't have my shield or grenade with that. They do not stack, so you want different elements on all 3. So you can see I have shock here and corrosive when I was farming Agonizer. Probably would have been better to have cryo here, but it still worked. Now when you're running the mobbing setup, are going to want this combo. You're going to want the transformer, to be honest. That's probably the best shield. And you're going to want it with while Sentinel's active, movement speed is increased. And then for your grenade, you're going to want on grenade thrown, weapon, grenade, and action skill damage are increased by 25% for 6 seconds. Or class mod also changes too. So for bossing, we use the antifreeze, but for mobbing, we use the executor. I guess you change these 3 items with whether you're going to be mobbing or bossing. And even if you go switch to Valkyries or if you switch to Wotan, you're probably going to want to switch. Your artifacts, you don't really need to switch much. You could run the Icebreaker Victory Rush for mobbing. That's pretty good. And then the Snowdrift Victory Rush is pretty good for bossing. So I guess you could switch between the 2. I wasn't running Icebreaker in the mobbing segment, but I could have, and it would have added a lot more damage, to be fair. Alright, as for weaponry, you're going to pretty much just want these 4 weapons. They do the best. A Corrosive Butcher, a Corrosive Cutsman, preferably a Fire Butcher here, but a Kinetic one does work. And then a Rad Redistributor. You do want this to be rad. Another weapon you could use is a Backburner. That's very good. You don't need DLC for it. Helixes are very good. Other than that, that's pretty much the main weapons you're going to want to be able to farm anything in the game. Yeah, so now we'll go over what the skill tree looks like. So, we do not have any purple tree, because again, this is not a DLC build at all. Let's take off our class mod here so you can see the points a little bit better. So we're going to start with blue tree here. This is everything we have in blue tree. Sentinel's never taken off, but we do switch Digiclone and shield a lot. We have pretty much everything running here in blue tree. Red tree, we mostly needed to come down to get Doppelbanger. but we do have a lot of increased damage from some of these skills here. Also, this is where our on grenade thrown rocks. Also does from blue tree as well, from the sentinel dropping grenades casually. And then here's our green tree. We have green tree all the way maxed for that confident competence, and calm, cool, and collected. Calm, cool, and collected is really what makes this build so good for mobbing. Whenever you freeze something, you'll get your action skills back to full, so you never run out of action skills. So when you're mobbing, you're going to want to run your barrier with these two on the right. These two on the right work while you're wearing it. These three on the left only work when it's on the ground. So you're going to want these two on the right when you're mobbing. Now when you switch to bossing build, you're going to want to put Digiclone over here with Doppelbanger. The other one doesn't matter. I just put one on just because. But you need Doppelbanger with Digiclone if you're going to be bossing. And if you're going to be mobbing, you run the barrier with these two right. That's pretty much all you need. There you go. That is a full non-DLC Zane build at level 72. It can do all content in the game just fine. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to hit that thumbs up button. It does help me out a lot. If you want to see some more content, smash that subscribe button. That way you can know when I make my next video. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bikes out.